going on, everybody? I'm back again. This is part 3 of my video series. So I left off. Of when I finally was remanded to jail, and there I stayed until January of 2023. But I stayed in the Ontario County Jail for about 3.5 months before I went to prison. And at first, I tried to fight to stay and do my time in the county jail, because if that was the case, they would have had to have released me in the middle of October of 2022. But I wasn't successful with that, and I'm not really surprised. Like I said before, Ontario County does not like me at all. So, anywho, we get to jail right in the beginning. Like I said, I was in really, really shitty, health condition at that time. And I went in on March 2nd. It was a Wednesday. Thursday night, med pass comes around, and I asked the nurse, "Where's my meds?" And she's like, "Oh, honey, they might not be here till after the weekend." And then I definitely shouldn't have said this, but I did. And I said, "You better tell what's-her-face, the nurse practitioner, that if I don't have my medication by tomorrow, we are going to have a very serious fucking problem." I bet you all know what would probably happen next. About an hour later or so, I'm getting delivered all this paperwork to sign, and I got locked into my cell for 10 days, and I became a TOE inmate. And what that is, that means TOE stands for 2-officer escort. So every time I had to go to medical, I had to get all shackled up and cuffed up, and had to have 2 officers escort me down there. And the even crazier thing is, my cell was 15 feet or less away from the rec pen, and about 7 feet away from the shower. Freaking not very far. And to get into either of those things, they had to do the same thing. So that was 10 days. That was when I was still in Pod 6. I stayed in Pod 6. Maybe maybe a month. Because I tried to stay there, because I heard in Pod 5 and 7 there was freaking mad chomos in those pods, and I didn't want to be around them, because in the mindset that I was at, I probably would have been beating some of them up, or doing something. So, but then I got sick of Pod 6. So I asked if I could be moved. They didn't even hesitate. They moved me right away to Pod 5, and that's where I stayed till the rest of the time. And county jail fucking sucks. There's nothing to do. Freaking, you have a 22-inch TV that's freaking, all up, posted up in the air. Freaking, motherfuckers think they own the remote. Freaking, it's like all, and everybody wanted to watch basketball and shit, and people were freaking arguing over the TV. And yeah, it was just stupid. I really didn't watch it. When I was out of my cell, I was usually either walking in the rec pen or taking laps around the pod. And I got into a workout routine while I was in there too, with a couple guys. And I was basically trying to get ready for prison. You gotta freaking get in shape. get the muscles back going. And I was doing probably 500 push-ups plus a day at one point. And for me, that's pretty crazy. I also, developed a couple of really good hustles, and one was I wrote letters for people because I had really neat cursive handwriting, and a lot of guys saw me writing letters all the time, so they would pay me, to write letters for them. Well, I remember one time this one dude had wanted me to write a letter to his girl. Well, I write in cursive, and it's a damn shame that they don't teach cursive in school anymore. How are the kids supposed to read old historical documents? That was all in cursive. So they're dumbing down America so fucking much, and it's absolutely freaking sickening. So I wrote in cursive, and I gave it to him. He's like, "Oh shit, man, she's not gonna be able to read that." I'm like, "Alright, I'll rewrite it, but it's gonna cost you." And then the other one I had was I had a whole stack of porn star magazines that when I was in Pot 6, my buddy who was going home, he gave them to me. He's like, "Yeah, here, make some money with them." And I did. I would sell pages out of it. I would sell the whole book or like rent them out. Yeah, it was a good hustle. It was a pretty good hustle to have. And what I did was I pulled all the pages that I liked out, and I freaking post them up on my door. Use toothpaste. That's what you use to stick stuff out on the wall when you're incarcerated. Works great. Comes off the wall easy too. And then there's in my cell there was where my sink and stuff was. There was like a slanted angle wall, and I had that wall covered. Freaking, actually, COs would come into my cell just to look at the shit. I mean, I had it up there for a minute, and then one day, freaking, a sergeant was doing a round in the pod, and you would really need to be paying very close attention to notice my wall, and he did. And then freaking he told the pod officer to tell me to take it down. Well, I wasn't having it. Freaking the officer asked me twice. I refused both times, so I got locked in for the B shift, which I didn't care. Freaking my buddy in the cell next to me freaking slid his tablet under the. Yeah, they would get tablets. I never in the county. I never used one, but he slid one under my door. I was able to watch a movie. I can't remember what it was. Rampage with the Rock. Yeah, that was a pretty good movie actually. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I got locked in for that, and the only other time I got locked in was there was this freaking bozo ass motherfucker who thought, who didn't like freaking, he'd make deals with you and then he didn't like paying people back. Well, freaking, I wasn't freaking having it. He tried to freaking pull that shit on me once, and I wasn't letting him fucking do it again. So he freaking, commissary comes on Friday. He said he freaking couldn't pay me, so I've walked right the fuck away because I would have punched him. I wanted to fucking deck him. But if you get in a fight in county jail, you'll catch a new one. So, and that's the last thing I wanted to do. So I stormed off to my cell, and then I got locked back out. I got, popped out to go get my blood sugar checked before lunch. And I come back into the cell, and he's at the poker table. So I went right up to him. I was like, so you got money to play poker, and you don't have money to fucking pay me back, you piece of shit? And then freaking everybody at the poker table starts dying fucking laughing, because they know it's true. And he starts fucking japping at me, and I freaking stormed off to my cell, calling him a fucking clown, fucking, bozo, freaking, bum ass, freaking. And then he comes to my cell, we start spatting at each other, and then he freaking gives me a bunch of freaking, like, cappuccino mix packets, like hot or not chocolate things you buy up in commissary. I don't understand why they sell that. Freaking, you could barely get freaking hot water out of the fucking sink. So, yeah. So anyway, freaking, what I did was, I made a cappuccino up, and I went out to the fucking day room, and we're back to the card table, and I fucking dumped it on his ass. Freaking, everybody at the table start fucking laughing. He gets up. We were about to fight, but the CO freaking ran over, freaking, split us apart. And I don't know. I never did business with the kid again. I don't understand why people think while they're incarcerated that it's okay to not pay people with the things that you owe them. Back in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, that would be a death sentence. Freaking, shit is way more freaking lax nowadays. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, I was there for a little over 3.5 months. I got to jail on March 2nd. This is 2022. March 2nd I got there. May 27th was the day I got sentenced. And then June 23rd is the day there was 5 of us that we left to go to prison. And freaking, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I remember the day I came back after I got sentenced, there was this freaking new kid in the pod, and freaking, he called himself OG Smoke. He was about like 6'4". He had, something wrong with him up here, like he had, a mental disability, but freaking, he raped his 9 and 14-year-old nieces. That's a no-no. That is a fucking no-no. If you do that, you are at the bottom of the fucking chain. Sexually abusing a child is the worst fucking thing that you could do to somebody. It's 1,000 times worse than murder. And if you don't think that way, there's something very fucking wrong with you. So, I didn't want to catch a new one, so I didn't put hands on this fucking kid, but I fucked with him every way I could. Freaking, I would kick his cell door really loud, scare the shit out of him. Freaking, I put toothpaste on his door handle. One night I had the cleaning cart, and I grabbed the bucket that had the toilet brush in it. I fucking threw that in his cell. That was funny. And then one night, this was a week before we went to prison. Freaking, I put toothpaste on his door, and he's over there. He's pissed, freaking trying to clean it like, what the hell are you doing over there, jerking off? He's like, no, someone put toothpaste on my door. And I just like, bro, you ain't gonna last fucking 2 days in Elmira. And then he starts fucking getting in my face, freaking calling me what he is and shit. Fucking retard. And I'm like, you just freaking wait. You just fucking wait till we get to fucking Palmyra. You better start praying to God right now that you do not end up on the same block as me. Which he did. He did. What I am gonna do is I decided to do, sections of these videos in shorter clips instead of just one long big one. So this one I covered, basically everything that happened in the jail, and then the next video will be probably a little longer because I'm gonna talk about my whole prison bid, and then the last video I'm gonna make is gonna be about all the remorse and the regret that I have today for the bad decisions I made in the past. So I hope you've been enjoying this little mini series, and I'll be making the next section here in a minute. All right, thanks.